Before we get started, I want to test something. So we're going to test something. We're going to fail at testing something. This is great. This is great. Math said that. Like, come on. Oh. No, no, no. Hang on. There. Hey, Pillars of Snow. Hey, Valerian. That's weird. I can pause the cutscene. Hey, Kennex Cow. Hey, Zach Taft. Oh, no. The emeralds from another island. I agree with you, by the way, Freezer. I want to test something really quick. Okay. Okay, that was really strange. Now it's not doing it. Okay, whatever. I didn't really get to watch it proper just now, but it looked pretty cool. I mean, I've been excited about it since it was first announced, so... One second, Papa Nix, please. Almost, but that was a screw up on my part. And what's interesting is that was controlling substantially better. Like, noticeably and immediately better. Look at this. I can even do the complicated route just for the hell of it. Look at that. It was suggested off camera that there might actually be an Origins input bug. And I'm starting to think there actually might be. Hang on, hang on. Let me line myself up here. There we go. No! Still screwing up. But at least I feel like I'm the one screwing up instead of the game. Right? And yeah, emulation tends to be more accurate than rushed ports. Go figure. Honestly, that's all I need to see right there. One quick shot of controls way better. Enough said. Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank you, Papa Deeks. Always appreciate you. If you give me a moment, someone killed my bot immediately. It's been up for like 3 seconds. Who killed my bot? If you give me a second. It's going towards Dead Space. No, I think that is enough for a bug. Think about it. I mean, admittedly, I've kind of been mentally accommodating some input lag the entire game, but to the extent that it hasn't really interfered with my gameplay, not really. By contrast, I effectively can't do the special game, right? It's not reasonable to bother getting all the emeralds, which means there's content I'm just being locked out of, because I know there's not only Superform, but Hyperform, in addition to, you know, the extra cutscenes and the better ending. So that's just content that I am disallowed from interacting with by virtue of playing this version of the game. Bug. Okay, so back to the actual game we're playing. I was going to do most of the Knuckles stuff off camera, but then I didn't have time. And I figured, screw it, right? We did second quest on camera. We did do Master Quest on camera, and this is effectively that, so... Hello, Elizar. I'm sorry I've not had a chance to look at your superpower thing yet. I mean, I haven't had a chance to pick, might be a better way to phrase that, because I have obviously looked at it. Okay, so... Back to Hydrosity. I love the checkpointing. I love just picking up where I was. Isn't it great how much better games are when they have proper saves? Isn't that awesome? That's not even me being, like, cheeky. That's just fact. I know I've told this story before, so I won't repeat the whole thing, but... when my eldest was like, you know, I accidentally screwed up and died. Oh, thank God there was an autosave. And went on like a 5-minute tirade about how games should have autosave. I was so proud of her. Just so proud of her. But anyways. I don't know why they went with Revelation. I mean... No! There's two dominant theories I've heard for why they went with Revelation instead of the extremely obvious and objectively correct title. Number one, they already used Reunion for Crisis Core. Because Square. Reason number two, they're saving it for when they do the bundle of all three games together. I like both theories, actually. They're not mutually exclusive, either. Whoops. Oh, God. 100% speedrun of FF7R 1, 2, and 3. That would be a thing. Yeah, that would be a days speedrun. Whoops. God, that... Speaking of bugs, what I just did there shouldn't even be possible. What the hell was that? Knuckles just... I don't even know what he was doing there. Aura farming? Yeah, Vincent just plummets. Tifa acrobatics are way down. Of course she does. Hey, Trihexian. He just lands and it's like, yeah. I suppose that's debatable, though, my Kumano. Damn it! When I get killed, yeah, just trying to figure out my timing here. Yeah, there are some very, very slow speedruns. Most of them are meme categories. Generally speaking, if you want the longest speedruns that are not memes, you're probably looking at stuff like a lot of the PS1 JRPGs, which have long, unskippable cutscenes and huge swaths of just emptiness. Final Fantasy IX is well known for being a very long and arduous speedrun that nevertheless has a strong speedrunning community. Where am I? Where am I? And I've mentioned several times that Xenogears is a game that resists speedrunning because there's essentially nothing you can do other than just playing the game normally with good strategy and tactics, because there's like, that's it. So it's just this arduous 9-hour chonker of death. FF8's the same way. FF7, by contrast, they just keep finding new tech for that one. Come on. No! 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 My ring! Yeah, see, that's a meme category, Noctis. That does not count, in my honest opinion. That's like the Animal Crossing 100% speedrun. Which also exists, by the way. Where am I? Where am I? There we go. No! There we go. What? I mean, Knuckles is by definition a better character from a kit perspective, but he's just... I hate his speed and his jump. I'm too used to actually being able to jump and move. Knuckles is just like, I'm here! This is canonically my voice. It's not Travis Willingham, no sir. I'm not voiced by Terrellian. Ah! God. But yes, the minimal percent Twilight Princess run is absolutely stupid, and frankly, once again, qualifies as a bit of a meme run. Where is he? Where is he? What? Why does that keep happening? I don't actually understand what's happening there. Hey, Riplinger. Like, every now and again, I go so high up, I don't have any horizontal movement, even though I'm hitting left and right. And if I don't, then I do that. What the hell? What is going on with Knuckles' movement? I don't understand why it's working the way it does. Yeah, minimum percent is exactly what it sounds like. The term actually comes from Metroid speedruns, where the challenge is to beat the game with the fewest items that is possible to beat the game with. Hopefully good films, we'll just know. Or at least enjoyable films. Because, like, the minimum percent for Super Metroid is, I want to say 8%, which is very low, and you have to pull some bull crap to make that possible. Oh, I see what's happening. There's some collision up there. Oh, that's frustrating. No, I didn't know Lizard. It's gone! It's gone! It's dead! Also, like, someone screwed with my bot. There we go. Not gonna be chat. Still didn't see it, though. Actually, yeah. In fact, I have seen a speedrun of Doom 1, which is a minimum percent run. Minimum health pickups and minimum ammo pickups and, like, take no damage. Stuff like that. Transformers 1, hell yes. Acolyte, no interest in that. Sure, at least, I mean, it's not going to change my ability to see it. I would actually rather you not post it unless you've changed it. Yeah, okay, there's an invisible wall. That's what's been screwing with me. See that? You cheated it. Yeah, no, it's weird, isn't it? This is why I've been having so many issues. I just noticed I didn't turn on one of my lights. Because a cloud just came over and suddenly became much darker. Professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. God damn it. And you notice he has no hitbox in his upper half, which is where I keep hitting. Oh my god, how much health does this guy have? I have no idea, Fraser, and I'm not playing far enough to find out. Jesus Christ, finally. It really does play troll. Anyways, that was Hydrosity. So Marble Garden sucked last time. Let's see how Knuckles fares. So far, these stages haven't been super different, by the way. In fact, the most different stage was Angel Island Zone. It's not a dig, it's just a commentary. I've been paying attention. Like, Hydrosity was minorly different, but not to the point where it would change the score. Yeah, being able to wall climb certainly does change some of the dynamics of the stages. Yeah, the fact that I can't double jump right there. I'm guessing I don't get the dash as fire either. I've also noticed, speaking of other weird things about Knuckles, his acceleration is slower. Which I know is a strange thing to point out, but like, you know how Sonic has a delay before he can start moving? Knuckles has a much worse delay. Yes, to both, Elizar. Although, being completely honest, my actual personal favorite collect sound is actually in Donkey Kong Country. The bananas. And I don't just mean, ooh, banana. No, I mean like the actual sound that plays. Seriously? Seriously. Okay, I guess we're going another way. What the hell? What's funny is I mentioned Second Quest and Master Quest earlier. Those of you who weren't there for that know that both of... excuse me, those of you who were there for that know that both of those demonstrably lowered the score of their respective games. How the hell am I supposed to do this? How the hell am I supposed to do that? Jesus. Yeah, GameCube was the first time it was available to us. I did it too, on the GameCube. And then the 3DS, and then the 3DS one more time for stream. So I've actually done Master Quest 3 times, and I've hated every single playthrough. It's kind of funny to me. Why do I put myself through this? Like, I'm down for a difficulty pack, but that's not what Master Quest is. Master Quest is a, oh, you like our game, huh? Get the hell out of here. We don't like your kind around here. Face punch. Yeah, these things. Oh, not by that much, Chill Pangolin. Platformers that are this short have already run into the density cap, generally speaking. Damn it! Yeah, for those who don't know, we have a density cap, which sort of had to exist because platformers exist. The moment we reviewed our first Mega Man game, the density cap had to be added to the equation. When you have an extremely good, or bad, game that's only 2 hours long, its density numbers get a little weird. Yeah, Resident Evil had the same problem. Yeah, without the density cap, Super Metroid, which I remind you is like 2.5 hours long, would score extremely well. Yeah, tell me about it, Pillager Snow. Code Veronica, I'm actually a little shocked about that. Okay, go away. Happy? Yeah, I know a lot of you guys have been clamoring for a Code Veronica remake for bajillions of years. And I was one of the 7,000 people who said that making a Resident Evil 4 remake was a bad idea because it didn't need one. I will even admit that even though the RE4R game is good, it still wasn't necessary. And yeah, they're actually finally going forward with Wolf Among Us 2. How many... God, I don't even know. Like, are we at the decade range now for that? Because they announced that a long time ago, and then, you know, Telltale died. Yeah, at least 2 studios later, Ben Wanna. At least. No. Yeah, I saw that, Dakota. That's probably our first demonstrably different boss because, you know, we literally can't jump high enough to hit him otherwise. Go figure. Ah. Here's the real question. So let's say you have the power to make RE5R good, okay? So quality is not a question here. Do you make it hammier? Or do you make it more serious? I know my answer. But, of course, you know my answer. Come on. It's me. Yeah, you've really, really got to super-duper kill Wesker. One of his attacks is he just launches boulders. Just straight up launches boulders at you. And the only way you can deal with that is by punching them out of the air as they're coming at you. Don't even acknowledge it. No achievement, no winking at the camera. Just, you gotta punch the boulders he throws at you. That's it. Chris has to eat boulders to increase his boulder punching strength. Oh god. Okay, hang on. I would not do this. I would not do this. But imagine for a moment that there's a mechanic where you can find hidden boulders throughout the course of the game. They don't really do anything except increase your boulder stat. And nothing indicates like what the boulder stat is until you get to the Wesker fight. And all of a sudden, the damage you do to Wesker changes based only on your boulder stat. That's the only metric that determines your output. So, like, if you bothered to get all the boulders throughout the whole game, you were just absolutely crushing him like a bug. Like, two-shotting him. And I would have the voice actor react to that. Like, oh my god, I've never seen such boulder power before, Chris. How did you manage this, Chris? And then I'd have Chris turn to him and say, I only need 7 minutes for you. If you get none, he's like, I expected more of you, Chris. And then that's hard mode. Like, that's the hard mode version of the fight. And honestly, probably the one most normal players would get. You know, the one you're actually designing the boss fight around. So yeah, I'd go with hammier if it's not obvious from my statements just now. And yeah, I did Zack that. But you can't do both. You have to pick one. I have no idea what I do with the Jill fight. Oh gosh. That's when you pull the writer's room in. It's like, alright, everyone, I want everyone to come up with a different type of cheesy story. Because there's a lot of cheese out there, right? So we need the cheesiest story we can get. Everyone give me your ideas. And then, you know, we workshop it. Figure out different types of cheese. Come on, Knuckles. There you go. I don't know, Chill Penguin. I've never played Sonic Mania. Well, I have played Sonic. I've never substantially played Sonic Mania. I played it for a few minutes on stream, even, and did not like it. Barry and the gun. Interior. Evening. It was a dark and stormy night. Barry turned to look at his gun. You're the only one I've got in these dark times. I want you to know, if this is our last night together, I'm spending it with you, gun. Cuts to the gun. And the camera just lingers on the gun for several seconds as if it's saying something. But there's no dialogue. There's no subtitles. There's no animation. There's no voice acting. It's just staring at the gun. They'll cut back to Barry. I know, and if it was possible, I would love for it to be that way, but it can't be. The world would never understand. Cut back to the gun. Yeah, Sherry would be buddy cop, yeah. Ada's just constantly throwing Bond quips. I guess that enemy got the point. Ah! No! My rings! My rings! Ah, my rings! Singular! Because Knuckles is not a whore. He's about to die, though. That took too long killing that thing. Run, Knuckles, run! Yes, yes, yes. Morph, morph, morph. Let's go. Come on. In a hurry. In a hurry. Still in a hurry. Let me guess. All they sell is green and occasionally yellow. Because they're the only lantern rings, right? I mean, that just makes sense. I am the sympathies, Rex. What was going on? Like, I know it's a Friday night, but what the heck? That's new. That's also new. Oh, that's even worse, Bill, just now. When they have what you want, but it's junk. Speaking as a Mega Man enjoyer, I sympathize tremendously. Ring! Let me tell you, finding good Mega Man merchandise is just frustrating. And it's all fan-made. Every bit of it. I mean, I made this. You know what I mean? Alright. Carnival night. I am not looking forward to this. Hello, Czar. Song is much better, I agree. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Damn I really do have to do that my first run through. Oh, that's frustrating. There we go. Good lord. Come on. Hey, look. Oh, God! It killed me! It killed me! Ah, that actually makes sense. I am familiar with those kind of things. So it's not like the other one. This is the jumpy one. See, it's not doing it. Or maybe it is. No, it is not. I don't care. I don't even care. I got other stuff to do. Like, not play this game anymore. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I admittedly have not been super impressed with the Knuckles stuff so far. It is noticeably different in several ways, but most of it feels like accommodating Knuckles' kit, which feels more like a kit thing than a level thing. No, I shouldn't have gone for that. No. I hate the mania. Not the game, just the concept. And the town. I admit, of all of these, there have been two I've been most intensely curious about. One was Sonic 1, because it was the one I was pretty sure would score badly. I was right. And 2 is Mania, because I've played Mania before and I didn't like it, and I have received some interesting pushback about that several times in my life. I mean, whether I like something also has no bearing on how well it scores, too. Something I every now and again feel the need to remind people of. Yeah, coffee is still coffee, sushi is still sushi. Have those terms for a reason. Hard to understand. Yep, Silent Hill 2R was a very good game that I've recommended to basically everyone I know. And I will never touch that thing again. No, it's okay. I remember this time. I remember to go down. Because I was an idiot and didn't understand what down meant. Oh, hey. Look, it's not my fault that Flying Battery is just a really, really, really good zone. Why did I not grab the... Wow! Yeah, no, I really, really, really don't like using the word overrated, but Silent Hill 2 might be one of the first games I've covered that legitimately qualifies for overrated. I get why people like it. I get why people got into it. the amount of times I've heard over the decades that it is the actual best horror game ever made is kind of silly. Take two. Actually, yeah, no, I think that's exactly what's going on here. If I can use a personal example of that. I have no idea, Mike Mono. You tell me, I don't review horror games anymore. Ignore the next two games we're playing pretty soon here. Go away! Oh my god. I see we're still having some visual noise issues. Oh no, it totally was, Rax. 100%. So far, most of these have actually been less painful than as Sonic, which is really funny to me. Anyways, I had that experience with Metroid Prime 1. I know that's kind of a minor example, but it's true. Like, when I first sat down and looked at Metroid Prime 1R, I was like, oh, wow, they didn't do anything. They didn't change anything. I'm a moron. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Then I actually pulled up Metroid Prime 1. I know that's not a great example, because that's mostly graphical and controls. But controls are kind of a big deal, especially for a Metroidvania. Yeah, I actually went through something similar with Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time 3DS, to a lesser extent. Yeah, MP1... Metroid Prime 1R is a huge polishing pass for the game. Listen, no ancient echidna technology ever hurt anybody. Why does he slide like that? I don't understand. Anyways, if you're talking about turning in the 100,000 bits push-ups, or not bits, wrong terminology, I shouldn't say that. Lore coins, that doesn't do anything. I don't make a penny off of that. That is there for people who do not have money to donate. So that even just viewers can have some way of having a say in what we stream. That's what that's there for. Now, excuse me, I have to give a positive. That's right. One positive. It's for you, push-ups. I mean, if you can do 2,345 push-ups, that's insane. I can't do 50 right now because of my elbow. I mean, my arms could. My elbow couldn't. You know what I mean? That joint would just be like, yeah, what are you doing to me? It's really frustrating. I actually have very strong arms, but I can't do a lot of, like, legitimate push exercising, like actually pushing my arms, because it'll strain my elbow. I should probably see a doctor for that, but I live in the United States, so... There we go. Sorry, I wanted to jot down my thoughts before I lost them there. Instant death. Look, your names both start with P, okay? That makes you the exact same person. Nope, 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 nope. What's the point of getting the emeralds as Knuckles, actually? Does anyone know? Oh, okay. What the hell does Super Knuckles' form look like? And by look like, I mean, like, what does it do? I don't care what it looks like. Interesting. I mean, it does look pink. I guess that's cool. Ah! Lol, Frieza. Oh, yeah, I feel you, push-ups. I'm telling you. Elbow. This sequence entirely too well. That's interesting. Did you know you can only glide once in the air per ground step? I think it's the first time I've actually encountered that. Oh, I'm sorry, Darkrai. I'm building kind of a weird space on the FFs right now. Because you're right, I would rather get the bads out of the way. And I'm not playing 6 anytime soon, for obvious reasons. Whoa, let's grab that. The thing I'm questioning in my head is whether or not I really want to play 2 on the NES. Is that something, is that a fond desire in my heart of hearts? It was going to be the only other one I was going to cover on the NES. But I'm debating how much I actually care. I mean, it was mostly just to see how bad it is, really, because it's going to score really badly. Damn. No, see, the problem is there's no real reason to do with that through the 3, because that's what the Pixel Remaster is. I know you could say the same about 2, but no, like... 3 is... I've looked into 3 on the NES versus 3 on the Pixel Remaster. It's one of the least different of the Pixel Remasters. Like, even 6 has more changes than that. I was always Lorca push-ups. I wish. Have that accent? Woof. But yeah, like, what Blade Travel just mentioned is kind of the point. The reason behind 2, like, the motivation behind covering 2 on the NES is 2 NES the worst Final Fantasy game? That's pretty much the question mark there. Right now, it's 13. Is there anything else that could actually beat that? And 2 NES is like the competitor, right? Like that's the competition for the bottom. I don't think 8 is going to score that far down. There's just too much good stuff in 8. That would kind of help offset the awful stuff. Anyways, you see the dilemma, right? Like, you understand why I'm still kind of hesitant on this whole thing. But that's the motivation. Yeah, 8 has Laguna. Wow. Wow! Did you see that? You son of a submariner! Not really heroic Lufkus, no. The only thing this has really changed the review on so far is the Carnival Night Zone 2, which was a demonstrably different stage from the existing one. Oh, that was close. No, FF13's leveling system is aggressively linear, which is actually my main issue with it. By contrast, FF2's is almost entirely non-linear. It's almost the exact opposite of a leveling system from FF13's. That's interesting. I'll say, logically, launch base should be different. There's no nothing! Yeah, FF13's leveling is... I was wondering what that did. I guess now I know. Hey, Crazy Norse. That's my fault for being curious, I guess. But yeah, no, exactly. 13's leveling is just advancing down a linear path. And I know what you're thinking, like FF4 does that, but it kind of doesn't. A game that has a leveling system is trying to tell you, the player, you have some choice in how you level. And the problem is, it's lying to you. You do not. Like, you can skip a few nodes, but for the most part, all leveling in 13 is going down the path. And so that kind of makes it worse than just leveling, like, say, in FF4. Because in FF4, you level. You're done. You did it. Congrats. Now, grinding is strange in FF2. Most people grind in FF2, but that's because there's some issues with everything. I'm going to try to explain this as badly as I possibly can here. So, in FF2, weapon skills are an individual ability, right? So your sword skill determines... It's part of the formula for how much damage you do with a sword. Okay, cool, that's cool. That's a neat concept. Are you kidding me with this? I just got all those rings. No! So let's say you've been really raising your sword skill. Now let's say you do a dungeon, and in that dungeon you find a mace. You don't have a mace skill. Like, you're at skill 2 with a mace. So now you get to go and raise your mace skill to be able to use your new mace. This is what most people mean when they think of the grinding in FF2. It's having to pause the game in order to be able to use the upgrades that they get when they get them. That's ignoring the fact that a lot of the weapons are very badly represented, to the point where there's no reason to ever even raise them, like bows and daggers, to use 2 examples right off the top of my head. So that's actually technically a problem of itemization, not the grindiness. But you can see how it kind of affects grindiness because you have to grind to compensate for the itemization. With me? There's other examples, like my sister coming in. Now, she hasn't played FF2, but if she had, she would know that if she gets, for example, a new spell, and she hasn't actually started raising that spell skill yet, with whoever she wants to use it on, well, that sucks to be her. Especially if she wants to put that on someone else. Like, okay, random example. Let's see, you've got Bob, Bobarina, and Bobette, okay? Bob, you've been raising your magic with, which means his magic stats are probably raised too. Can I help you? You have water. I know you have water. I saw you. Does Sis speak Beaver? Do you speak Beaver? Okay. No, sorry. That'd be me. I'm Guy.
I do, however, know what sound a dinosaur makes.
What sound does a dinosaur make? Oh my god! Did you hear that? Roar! What's up?
I thought it was SGDQ.
No, that was yesterday. And also it was
Monday.
Summer Game Fest, not what you were thinking.
Oh.
That would be... When is SGDQ this year? Anyone know in chat? I've sort of fallen off on the GDQs a bit. Okay, right in the edge. They don't make a sound, because they're dead! Anyway, so you've been raising all of your spells on Bob, right? That means Bob's magic stats are higher. Cool. That means he can use spells well. Oh, this song is so much better in every way. I can tell him it. That's a good point, Penguin. So now let's say you find, I'm going to use a random example, Cure or Revive. And you want to put that on Bob Arena. But all you've been doing is punching people with Bob Arena. So Bob Arena's magic stats are terrible. That means low MP, low Spirit, low Int. Int actually doesn't apply here, so ignore that. But low Spirit would mean lower heals and lower magic defense, by the way. And low MP is obvious. So now you have this great spell on someone who could cast it like once. And I want you to imagine raising your magic stat on someone you haven't been raising at when they can only cast a spell once per battle. Maybe twice. You start to see the issues? FF2 is less grindy the better you know it. If you are prepped, if you know what you're doing, if you know the game you're walking in, and you know how to plan out your eventual leveling path, you will never grind in FF2. Not once. Because you'll just be using all the things the entire time through with each character that you're going to eventually be using them on, right? You're going to want a sword user for the blood sword. You're going to want to have everyone constantly raising their HP, their MP, and their spirit. You're going to want to have everyone constantly raising their strength, etc., etc., etc. And you also know that there's ways to cheap out raising your HP, there's ways to cheap out raising your dex, but all of this requires a freaking walkthrough. And does that sound familiar? That's the biggest problem with FF2 in a nutshell, right there. That's why people call it grindy. It's kind of an asterisk grind. But if you are unfamiliar with the game, if you're playing it for the first time, you are probably going to spend a huge amount of time grinding to compensate for the prep work you didn't do. Because you didn't know you had to do it. It is also extraordinarily easy to build yourself into a corner in FF2. Because, as with most RPGs in general, there's a lot of sections where it's like, this is the section where everything only takes magic damage, right? Or this is the section where everything has a really high magic defense, so you gotta use physical attacks. I sure hope you've got characters built for that, because if you don't, you're stuck. And in some parts of the game, not all, but there are parts of the game where you basically can't backtrack to a better leveling spot. So, the way HP gains works actually varies based on the version of the game, believe it or not. I do believe the NES version has a check which says, did you end the battle with less HP than you started it? If you did, then you gain HP experience. I say that very specifically because it doesn't actually matter how much damage you take in the fight, only that your HP ends lower than it started. Make sense? Also possible, but was as though that has happened to me on camera. Now, some versions of the game, every time you take damage, you gain HP experience. It's actually funny because there's roughly 2.5 versions of FF2. Every single version of that game changes its leveling mechanics at least a little bit. Yeah, so for those of you who weren't there, during the lore run, which is the run during which I'm cheating, because that's what a lore run is when I'm cheating my balls out for the purposes of showing off the game and the story, right? During the lore run, I died in the Jade Passage, if you know what that is. And if you don't, it's the second last dungeon, and it's bullcrap. I'm pretty sure some... well, obviously the VOD still persists, because the lore runs are still up. But I'm pretty sure there's a clip of that on Twitch, too, of I'm cheating! As I just get murdered by a surprise attack or a back attack or whatever it was. God, the frickin' swamp in 3, which happened more than once, actually. Although the second time I did it on purpose, but... First time I sure as hell did not. Why? Why? Okay, I guess I'll just go back then. This feels weird. Whatever, I don't know where else to go. There's rings here. Or what? There were rings here. Heroes don't need pants. But anyways, yes, that's why you punch yourself, is because in most versions of FF2, to some specific or another, it will gain you HP for doing so. It's also why a common strategy in FF2 for people who know what they're doing is to go ahead and just have 2 shields equipped at all times. And just sit there and live for a bit. I forget the exact name of the stat you gain for that, but it's your evasion. Or block, actually, I think. But whatever. It's the don't get hit part of the equation. Might be agility? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Might be evasion? I don't know. You get the idea. It's the don't get hit stat. Hit by that. Speaking of don't get hit. I do like how there's just this scaffolding there now. Knuckles is just going to have to slow-mo his way to breaking all that down over the next, like, century. Sonic, can I ask you to do me a solid? Sure, what's up, Knuckles? I need to remove several million tons of steel from my island. Sure! Yeah, was this excavated locally? Because if so, we probably got a quarry issue, too. Top of everything else. Yeah, sorry, somebody punched all my emeralds out of me. Look, I'm sorry, Knuckles. Or Sonic, whatever your name is. I, Knuckles, am sorry to you, Sonic. As you know, I am your closest friend. Actually, yes, push-ups. The robots are powered by draining the life force out of the animals. Hey, it's the other two. Okay, that's cute. Although having to fight 2 of these at once is less cute. Yeah, Robotnik's evil. I don't like to use that word all that often when it comes to this kind of thing, but he's evil. What's interesting is only very recently, well, maybe very is the wrong word, only relatively recently has efforts been made to make Robotnik merely evil. As opposed to, like, what is wrong with you? Someone more familiar with the franchise could answer more specifics, but I know, for example, in Sonic 06, attempts were made to make him, you know, a pseudo-ally of the team. There was something about that in Adventure 2, although that's badly written, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I am shocked that didn't kill my fire shield. I almost didn't pick it up because I thought I would. Let's see. Adventure 2, 06... I'm trying to remember. Oh, there's another one. Obviously, there's Frontiers. That's just a dick move, game. Why would you do that? Ugh, whatever. Oh, it didn't kill my shield. Holy crap. That killed my shield. Yeah, I've heard... I'm aware of the story beats of Frontiers, put simply. It probably helps that several Sonic games have made the bigger evil or bad than Robotnik, which kind of makes Robotnik look less horrible by comparison. Like the Mario RPGs pulled that same trick. Although in their case, you know, Bowser wasn't evil, but you get the point. I mean, that makes sense, Crazy Horse. I've seen cartoon Robotnik. He looks messed up. Oh, water! Water! No! No! My already sluggish movement. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, don't do this to me, game. Don't do this to me, game. Please don't do this to me, game. What? 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 No, Christopher, it's not past what we've already done. Unless he substantially changes how he plays, there's nothing new to be said there. I think Robot is just based off of, you know, Evil Scientist number 387. Although then again, Dr. Wily was based off of Albert Einstein visually. So what the hell do I know? But yeah, the industry versus nature thing was common early on. Not just in Sonic, but definitely in Sonic. I pointed that out, actually. In Sonic 1, CD, and 2, there's a very strong motif of the city encroaching on nature and nature fighting back against city. Sonic literally comes across as like a defender of the wilds kind of an individual there, in the absence of more in-depth development of the character. No, Kennex Cow. If anybody other than Bowser won, we're gonna have words. Yeah, I know, Death Battle isn't supposed to be taken seriously, I get it. I was asked a similar question earlier. I guess that's probably why. The problem is, Robotnik can build tons and tons and tons of huge hardware and resources, and all kinds of other mad scientisty stuff. Bowser's a giant lizard who can breathe fire, who's a death machine. So. Little son of a submariner. I'm gonna die again to this nonsense, because these guys are, like, perfectly designed to screw with me. Nope. Okay. Negative to gameplay. There's no air across this huge swath of game. Tons of enemies. And one water bubble, which is several screens before it. That's bullcrap. Especially when you're already underwater, which is already hampering your ability to move. And you're playing as Knuckles, which is already hampering your ability to move. Negative to gameplay. I'm not even going to get into the fact that there's no checkpoint nearby. Like, the fact that I can't attack the snail badniks from the bottom while I am climbing up to approach them from below them really says all I think it needs to about this section. And of course they have a projectile attack, because screw you. Go away, go away, go away. Like, do you see how long of a gap this is between the checkpoint and the actual challenging section? This is a huge swath of wasting my time just to get back to try this again. Whatever. Go over the spikes! Oh, Jesus Christ. Which power-up has been most useful in the Sonic game? Lightning Shield. Also, there's not that many power-ups in Sonic games. In general. I think we're up to a grand total of 2. I guess 3 if we count invincibility. Listen, Sonic's a real hedgehog. He don't need no power-ups. Only lazy plumbers need power-ups. Why is this random-ass robot fighting me across these stages? Doesn't Shadow literally use an Uzi to differentiate stuff that's already been put into the audit sheet versus stuff that hasn't, Chill Pangolin? I did the boring audit off camera last night, as I often do. I mean, I can't review the game's music unless I actually hear it, Lord Firestorm. I can't review, for example, the MJ music because it's not in the game. Doesn't count. I have no idea, push-ups. I've never actually studied Shadow. Played it, hated it, put it down. Oh, the Master Emerald's here, thank God. So, stupid question. How many stages are there for Knuckles? I Have No Mouth and Must Scream is a game I'm going to hate. I guarantee it with 100% certainty. Because I've read the book. Or the short story, I guess I should say. I've read it. I also don't like Harlan Ellison in general, but that's unrelated. I know, I don't like a prick author. Lore shock. Damn it. Tried to pull that. Oh yeah, by the way, among the many other frustrations we're going to have with I Have No Mouth, I will not be able to read chat while streaming it. I mean, I can alt-tab, or I can pull it up on my phone. But I won't be able to have the setup now where I can just glance over there and see your chat right there. So that'll be great. Yes, he's the guy who didn't write City on the Edge of Forever. That is correct. Oh no, I can play it in windowed, but it will not play in anything other than windowed full screen. I have one monitor. You're right there. Game's right there. Notes are right there. Review documents right there. Monitor's right there. I know nobody cares, and of course I'm not going to ding it for that. But, it's going to make the experience of playing a game I hate even more frustrating than it already will be. And that's why I find it funny. Like, Rex, you think recovering from heat stroke and fatigue is bad? Ho, ho, ho. Now I can't read chat either. Oh no, he's nowhere near a Gene Roddenberry. As always, we gotta have that gradient when it comes to awful people, and Harlan Ellison's just a prick. In the grand scheme of things, he's just another prick author, of which there are thousands. Nothing fancy there. He's not as bad as Heinlein, to use another example. I will reserve more ire for Heinlein. Heinlein is still not as bad as Roddenberry, though, I think. I shouldn't say that with such definitiveness. I don't think Heinlein is as bad as Roddenberry. If I could use actors as a comparison point, not Heinlein, Ellison's more like a Brent Spiner. He's just kind of a prick. Yeah, Starship Troopers, Stranger in a Strange Land. I don't remember what else. Good morning, Gregor. That's a good question, Rax. And that is how I'm going to answer that. Incredibly unlikely Chill Penguin, especially since it's not funded. But seriously, I don't ever recommend you read Stranger in a Strange Land, but if you ever do, holy crap. Ah, well, that actually occurred to me, Chill Pangolin, and admittedly, as if you were paying attention earlier, I even mentioned I have not had time to update the document, because I was already up until 1 in the morning, catching up to date with this thing. I'm a little behind on my paperwork right now. Fun fact, if you too check the website, you'll see a timestamp, a date actually, more accurately, saying exactly when a given, oh my god, update to the funding has been done. Oh my god, why is he so fast? How are you so fast? Okay. Stop rolling! Jesus. No, I actually mentioned this earlier, Crazy Norse. The problem is our acceleration is worse. Our top speed is probably slower than Sonic, but I kind of don't care, because the rest of the game just kind of accommodates your speed. But it takes much longer to get up to full speed as Knuckles, because our acceleration is terrible. This leads to situations like that, where I was basically just trapped in a corner by damage. How many more stages are there? A real question. I know I just asked this, but nobody answered me in a way that I actually understood. How many more stages are there? Let me ask this very simply. I would like to be done with this game, please. Okay, so flying battery after this, that should be fun. Hopefully. Sandopolis, that... oh no, Sandopolis, no! No! And then Lava Reef, so that is 6 more stages. Or 7, apparently. There's a 7th stage, got it. Why? Why? The way it's just so perfectly designed to push me into a corner is terrible. No, let me get my ring back at least. Thank you. God. Ah! No, the problem here is if you look at this area in terms of damaging zones, every time we get one of the duels where you have to jump, he's almost always right there with his afterburners in the opening space you're supposed to jump through. I'm legitimately not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. And there's that acceleration thing. I was so slow I couldn't get my ring back. Yeah, exactly. No, the timing is off. That's exactly why this is so frustrating. I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna get my rings back. I'd be a good fate. I don't know if pre-battle damage even counts. Does anyone know? Oh, that was actually close. Okay, it does. That is good to know. Ah, I thought that was higher than it was. That's my fault. God damn. Shouldn't have gone for that. No, I know I can roll under. It's just, I really shouldn't bother. And yeah, the glide, I'm actually shocked at how much the glide just destroys my speed. God damn it. Oh! Get the molasses off your shoes, Knuckles. You know my favorite part about Stranger of a Strange World? When the entire human race joins one single death cult, sorry, sex cult, not death cult, and then becomes new gods, because, you know, that's the key to human supremacy, is sex. Free sex, obviously. And only between a man and a woman. Duh. Pushback on that is so stupid. I'm gonna have to rewatch GamerChamp's video to see how she did this fight without, you know, holding left or right. Bull crap! I hit down! You lying sack of crap. Huh. I mean, we've already proven that the controls are worse in this version. I don't know if that's affecting this or not. But several times I have tried to duck, yeah, like that. You notice I have to duck way early, otherwise it just does not happen. I cannot believe I managed that jump, honestly. That's my fault. That's the first death I'll consider my fault right there. Ugh. Interesting. I always put the version of the game we're playing in the review document. In the thing that goes on the website, more accurately. I hurt my thumb. Ugh. Ugh. Hmm. Okay, okay. Hopefully, I really liked Flying Battery last time, so here's hoping, right? Um, yeah, it's actually the best scoring zone in the game right now. I forget by the margin, but by quite a bit. I believe, hang on, let me double check here. So, yeah, so Flying Battery Zone and Launch Base Zone and Hydrocity are the three best scoring zones so far for Sonic 3. Also, best scoring zones so far. We'll see if Mania manages to pass any of that. I've heard nothing but good things about Mania. In fact, I'm worried about Mania because everyone's like, it's the best game in the history of the ever. And we'll see. Superstars? I don't know anything about Superstars. Nobody talks about Superstars. I don't even know what it is. I mean, it's a game. We're playing it. I own it. I don't know. I know nothing about Superstars. Okay. Forgiveness. Please. So I've never heard of anybody not liking whatever zone this is. I've already forgotten the name. So can you mind enumerating the Legend? Because you're the first person who's been like, what? Like I said something really weird about liking these stages. To explain my statement a little bit, if I'm like, I love Jar Jar Binks, and you're like, what the hell? It's kind of the reaction you just gave me. So I'm wondering where that's coming from. Although I do. I love Jar Jar Binks. He's so... Oh. Sorry, what? I did not mean to hit this, by the way. That was a mistake, so let's just get out of here. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I would like to ask a question of the crowd. I want input on this, actual input. Do you think the special stages should be reviewed? Like, obviously I'm not getting all the emeralds, but should we review the stages in general? Amusing side note, Frieza just mentioned these stages are too linear, which I don't understand that complaint, but I'm going to ignore it for a second. I was going back through my notes last night as I was touching up on everything and figuring out the specifics of what to type up in my document for why things are positives and negatives. And as I was going through this stage, I noticed something that actually amused me. There's almost no branching in the stage whatsoever. It's just solid level design for a single stage. It's almost like a Mega Man stage. Or a Mario stage, or something like that. Which I have no issues with, obviously. It's just a really good stage. And I suppose that's my fault there, for only really caring about the quality of the stage itself, because, again, I don't, care. But I could see why some people would look at it and be like, what the crap? I mean, possible, feasible, reasonable is why we're not getting all the emeralds. I don't think it's possible, well, I don't think it's feasible or reasonable to get all the emeralds, especially not for me. But I'm seeing a near universal yes, so I'll tell you right now, because I've actually already prepped my thoughts on this, just in case. So, we're reviewing the Origins versions of the game, and that's kind of important. Because what that means is that the blue sphere in this game is not going to go! Because of the fact that it's the Origins version of the game we're reviewing. So... this is going to be a multi-negative for this blue sphere game. Like, I do actually think the concept is interesting, but the controls make it awful. Yeah, you probably missed it earlier. I actually pulled up my Genesis copy of this game and just did the first special stage, because you can get to the first special stage in literal seconds. And had no issues. I mean, I screwed up a couple of times. What are you doing? Why aren't you hitting yourself? I don't understand. Why aren't you hitting yourself? But yeah, no, I had no issues and managed to get the first emerald. Boop. It's certainly mean. Even the first stage is a little on the unforgiving side. But at least the controls work. So anyways, then you have the... I don't remember which game has which, but there was the one that had the extremely disorienting pinball slot machine weird garbage thing. Which was not great. I don't know which game that was. Not a big fan. Moving on. Then there's the half pipe, I guess is what I would call it, section. I'm pretty sure that was Sonic 2. No, I think that was 1, Frieza. You little snots. No. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, Faith on. Okay, so 1 is the one that's going to get a negative. 2 is probably also going to get a negative. This one's going to get multiple negatives. So who's ready for Sonic CD's score to go up again? I don't even care. I liked the Mode 7 thing. It was also the most... I think the word I want to use is self-explanatory of them. I mean, in 2, there's literally a pop-up that says, you need to get this many things in order to progress, which is fine. And in this one, you know, it says, get the blue things, although maybe it's the blue things, maybe it's the gems, I don't know. It is the blue things, but it's not super clear at a glance. By contrast, the Mode 7 thing, nobody had to explain anything. There's no text pop-up for anything. I didn't... Stop doing that! I didn't need any kind of tutorialization or guide in text to be able to instantly tell what I was doing. It's also relatively short. It is far more rewarding of skill than it is of memorization, which I'm always in favor of. And you can recover from mistakes, which is also nice. Like, I think it's the best design to the special stages. I don't know what you want from me. I have no idea what the special stages are going forward, or even if they are any. Why am I the only one who lets the dog in? That is how trading works. Push-ups. What are you on about, Giga? Did someone give Giga coffee again? Guys, come on. You know she can't take that. Yeah, we have an entire channel on Discord dedicated towards trading. No joke. No, don't shut up, Gig. I just don't understand what you're saying. I don't know, I hear Rax doesn't like my review style anymore. She don't like my kind around here. I wish coffee didn't give me a headache. I mean, not that I like the taste of it, but I'd endure it if it actually got rid of headaches. I'd endure a lot to get rid of headaches, actually. Like, that sounds like an interesting question. What would you endure to just be immune to headaches? What price would you pay for that? Yeah, I saw that they were talking about keeping Guild Wars 1, 2, and 3 in development at the same time, which is probably the single worst thing I've seen about all of this. Like, the biggest thing that makes me hesitant about Guild Wars 3 and the recent announcements, like, they're on crack. If they could pull that off, that's great, but there's no way. Hey, off the deep front. Sure. Right now, the company attached to Mini Bricks is damage controlling. There you go, Elazar. Done. If you've never heard of them, that's probably a good thing. Little snot. Oh, no! Yeah, the Lego drama is what most people are calling it right now. Love the pitching. I wonder if this fight is any different. Doesn't look like it. Again, Crazier. That's the best part. Oh, whoop. Pay attention, Laura. Pay attention. Yeah, Knuckles doesn't actually punch. He glides? Does that count? Or not, apparently. It would be funny if he just has a punch button. Just bam! I need to stop being so cautious. Well, now I'm dead. He says as he dies. Yes, the bricks. Do I seriously have to do this entire section again? Oh my god, I do. Okay. I have no idea, Lazar. You would know as well as I would. Probably not that much better, Christmas. Like, I don't think it would make that big of a difference. It would change the score, certainly. But it's not like Sandopolis suddenly becomes a good game, or a good stage, right? Oh yeah, then there'd be the lives we'd have to deal with, which would add many negatives. Remember, live systems act as a multiplier of negatives. Yeah, Sonic 2, last boss with lives. Enough said. Listen, my 5-year-old niece could beat that stage. I don't know what your problem is. Well, that would have been a great time to do the glide, but it literally wouldn't let me, so... Oh well. Sonic 2 is one of the most bizarre examples of Sunshine Syndrome I've ever seen. Maybe bizarre is the wrong word. Maybe just like textbook. Like, obviously there's Mario Sunshine itself, which I named it after, but good God. We went from great to terrible in the space of about a single stage. Like, no transition, just, alright, sucks to be you. I was actually asking a few of my friends off camera of just like more vague, vibey kind of opinions and memories based off Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. Both of them coincided with what I was thinking as well. Both of them enjoyed Sonic 2 quite a bit until they get to the end game, which they just don't have as many memories of for some reason. And then in Sonic 3, their memory was that the stages were extremely bipolar. Good stages, bad stages, and in some cases, both. Like, just back to back. Yeah, not a lot of meh. Just, hey, or then hey, and then You can quote me on that. Well, I suppose it depends on the individual Crazy Horse, but if you're asking in my specific case, it would be Metropolis Zone in both cases. Hell, in one of them, they barely remember the Hill Zone I can't remember the name of, which I actually rather liked. Hilltop, that was it. Hey, Linear Roof. Yep, they are absolutely insane, and statistically speaking, it probably will not work. Are you coming? Yeah, so Rax can actually talk about this more than I can, really. There's this thing, which there's been a lot of pushback against recently, about... Oh god, how do I put this into words? Only much more recently in gaming history has it been seen as kind of normalized to finish a game. And even now, there's been some pushback against that very mentality. But to phrase this differently, when we were all kids, finishing a game was not something that was considered normal. I'm not sure I ever finished Sonic 2 legit, back in the day. I mean, I did this time. Hey! But I'm not sure if I ever did back as a kid, because I had access to debug mode. I know I didn't finish Sonic. I didn't even play Sonic City or 3. Yeah, no, it was, like I said, it was considered normal to not finish a game. That's not a dig, that's not a challenge, that's not anything. It's just, that was just kind of how things were. Why? Okay. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay. And 1 second, Trihexia. I did this last time, and I don't remember where the actual exit is. It's one of these. I just don't remember which. Yeah, a lot of games didn't have endings, period. There's a reason I have the term NES ending. Now, an NES ending can be good, but often isn't. And that's that one. Okay, so it's got to be the next one. There we go. I think. No. Hey, ghosts, can you stop haunting me, please? Please? I'd appreciate it. I don't feel like being haunted right now. Anyways, thank you for being part of the show. Trihexia. Give me 1 second. I'll jot that down. He doesn't even have a Super Bowl. Ah! Poor Tails. Okay, so that's going towards Killzone, Jedi Survivor, and possibly Hi-Fi Rush. Do me a favor, pick a backup after Hi-Fi Rush, just in case. Really, Crazy Horse? That's funny. Good way to get lives if you need them. Ugh. Quite possibly, Giga. Either way, I'm slotting it after midnight, if it was funded. That's pretty much set in stone. Did I seriously just loop again? I did. Yeah, sure, I'll take directions, because I can't see where I'm going. And I cannot tell where it wants me to go. Can't go that way because there's a door. Just went that way, so that doesn't help. I hit that on accident. Hang on, that's just the yellow pad. That's the door. That's where I just was. This leads back to the top. No way. I can't really see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, that's the yellow thing again. What was this again? I actually have infinite lives. Oh, right, I do actually coincidentally have 27 coins right now. Are you freaking kidding me? That's... Really? Did you see that? I just got shoved into this. Freaking shoved. God damn it. Yeah, at least that'll reset my freaking lights. Ugh. I love the audio spam in this stage. I really do. I give it its own separate negative just for audio spam. Because just listen to this for large swaths of the game. Buckle, 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 buckle. Speaking of, who's ready for buckle, 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 buckle? Just think of it as the bass line for my new hit single album. It's called Sandopolis Zone Sucks. Okay, we're almost at the worst part of the zone, which I notice is here and is therefore probably going to be completely unaltered from the original terrible version. You notice this is also barely different from the original version. Unlike some of these stages, which are noticeably different or have completely new paths for Knuckles, this is just Sandopolis again. That's all this is. Yeah, can I seriously not? Okay, there we go. Who's ready for a buckle, 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 buckle? Oh yeah, that's my beat right there. Who needs Michael Jackson when I got buckle, buckle, buckle? Oh god, I wasn't even paying attention. I was reading Frieza's comment. I say I haven't seen it yet. Anyways, back to buckle, 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 buckle. What? What? Physics. In case you missed that, I grabbed the top of the platform, which was below the block that was there. And so, you know, that was fun. You know, Ghosts, aren't you, like, on my side? I'm an echidna, I'm just saying. Nope, 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 nope. Over here, over here. Hang on, I gotta get my pukong on. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. I'm gonna go to sleep to this tonight. Oh yeah, double that beat! Double that beat! You mean the one I already did, Crazy Norse? Or... Got it. So based on that, there's another version of the Knuckles final boss fight, which is different from the Sonic final boss fight. So, how would I do this, then? Because if it's anything like the Sonic fight, I'm going to need all the emeralds to do that. I am not doing that. Oh, the Sonic one? We already did Doomsday stage, and the 2 fights against Robotnik there. You know, that could be Frieza. But let's be clear. It's the Echidnas. They're all mad because, you know, Knuckles sucks. Why are you so stupid, Knuckles? You were always so dumb. You bring great shame to our people, Knuckles. You should listen to that nice Chakotay fella. He knows what's going on. He knows how to do this. Why aren't you using your knuckles, Knuckles? It's in the name! How the hell? How? How? This doesn't look possible. Like, if I was playing the game normally, I would assume this is impossible. This is actually a hint that I have to find some other way to do it. Oh, block. Okay. Okay. This is Knuckles. Come on, you're supposed to be the strong one. This is why the ghosts are haunting you, Knuckles. Yeah, this is an interesting choice, Rax. Oh, thank God, the boss. Thank you, God. Take me, Eggman. I'm ready. Well, that's over with. Now what? Lava Reef, yeah. This should be fun. I was doing it. Meanwhile, the ghosts don't see Knuckles just walking on lava. Like, what? And he's just over here like, ugh. The things I do with these stupid ghosts. How does the gas attack me? Is this the Taco Bell equation? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, well, Knuckles just walks into stuff and breaks things. Which, honestly, I'm pretty sure that's in the show, too. One of the shows. You know, the stream is just dying right now. Yeah, I have a little bit of a hard time seeing some of this. I can't even imagine what you guys are saying. Ah! Oh shoot, oh shoot. I mean, yeah, it's not a great texture, like, regardless of technology from the 10s to capture blah, blah, blah. I did that exact same thing last time, too. I automatically assumed the yellow switch was a switch, and not a flamethrower. Because it looks really similar to the yellow switches in the previous stage. You know, those yellow switches. Oh, actually, no, that's not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones, you hit to, like, in the Sendopolis zone. Yeah, of course, whatever. Like that. There you go. That's the kind of switch I was referencing. I bet you that's on purpose, too. Like, hey, look! It's a switch! Damn it, Akbar. God damn it. There's no rings right here. Oh, never mind. There's rings right there. We're okay. We're okay. There's even a flame shield right here. And an asshole. One of my favorite parts of the game. Gosh, what's my favorite new thing about YouTube? And by favorite, I mean most terrible, obviously. I don't think "it sucks" qualifies. Maybe a dude in a trench coat walking up to me and like, "Hey, buddy, want some AI slop? I got some AI slop for you, buddy." Yeah, speaking of being made words, Patreon recently forced an update on me, which is like, "Hey, we're going to merge your accounts." And I'm like, I don't have more than one account. What are you talking about? Listen. Your accounts need to be merged for you to access your Patreon. Okay. Didn't do anything because I didn't have a second account. I don't know what it's on about. What? Okay, we're just... Oh, hey, and there's Angel Island. And the most amazing boss fight of all time. Mecha Sonic Mark II. No! The dude I've been fighting the entire game is dead. I'm very sad about this fact. Interesting attack pattern. Oh, he turned around. Oh my god. I didn't think he was capable of turning around. I better be careful now. I have no ring. I have no rings. It's just... Ugh, excuse me. Oh, you little. Yeah, why is the island jiggling over there? I mean, I guess the Master Emerald is over here, so maybe it's like in the process of falling. I don't understand how that happened. About to fall is kind of impressive if you think about it, actually. Like, you'd think a giant floating island would plummet the moment you pull the plug, metaphorically speaking. Like, islands tend to be kind of heavy things, I'm just saying. Look, pay attention more. I guess it is a magic emerald. Magic fuel, whatever. Nope, I'm dead. Didn't know. I'm dead. Anyone know how much health this guy has? Random question. That was a twitch. That was my fault. I did not mean to do that. That's not true. The final boss of 2 has 12 health. Wait, who has 14? And yeah, I guess technically this guy has 16, or whatever. Oh, yeah. I am so slow. Still disagree with that. Really disagree with that. Wow. I'm gonna try something. Because I'm really bored of this first phase. Yeah, I'm just curious. Because I noticed I got in his hitbox there, and I didn't do it on purpose. He doesn't want to turn around. Still doesn't want to turn around. Jesus. Come on, dude. Ah. No, he will turn around. He just... I think it's actually semi-random. I thought it was fully static at first, but it appears to be some randomness to whether he turns around or not. And it changes his particular pattern, too. Ah, whatever. Attempt 87. That poor island. Anybody on that island right now is just... Ugh. Why is the entire island shaking? Ugh. Why are we on a floating island? Ugh. Couldn't have gone for that. I knew the window was small. Damn. I barely even remember that scene, push-ups, if that gets across how much I'm like, huh? ho, 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 ho. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Urgh. Thanks, Sonic. Whew. Oh no, it's sinking! It's sinking! No! Come back! No! Or it's upside down! Oh god, it's upside down! And now we get to watch it plummet to its death! Yay! Die! Yeah, we were upside down the whole time. Sorry. Yeah, this is gonna be hell of a... I'm pretty sure an island about this size plummeting and destroying the entire Earth was a supervillain plan in a dozen or so different stories. Well, I love this music and all, but... Sorry, but no music for you. Instead... What the... Oh, right. Ignore this. What you really want to see is this.
You suck.
That's a hell of a way to motivate yourself. Sure. All right. No, 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 no. That was the speedrunners. So, okay, do you see his tracker on the left there? He had a custom sound file set that every time he hit the reset button, it says, suck. Which was either Mortal Kombat or Killer Instinct. I couldn't tell at a moment's glance. Okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Oh yeah, it might have been Unreal, actually. Think about that. Yeah, fun fact, this is not the world record holder right now. You might wonder, why is that? Well, it's because that video has been taken off of YouTube. So, that's cool. I mean, this is the number 2, but for this category, no. Which is all emeralds and glitchless, by the way, if you're wondering. Jesus Christ, did you see that? That's the most impressive thing he's done so far. Okay.
That was
Try to be shocked. Longest Sonic game so far by almost double. No guesses as to why. This noise will haunt my dreams. Oh, right. Do that, too. Yeah, I'm not sure how he's doing that exactly. I missed it, Rack. Sorry. I was typing up some thoughts. What was it? Or, you know what? Hang on. Interesting. That feels like an intended skip, if that's the one you're referencing. Which it probably was. The wide raglan, woo, woo, woo. What are you, woo, talk woo about? Woo, woo. This is the noise Octopus Girl made when she tried to kiss me for the first time. Woo, woo, woo. That's why I can talk about her like that, because I'll never talk to her again. She is lost to the annals of history. Erased from existence. Yeah, no, I feel like there's some nitty-gritties of how the mechanics actually work that I am at least not aware of. Actually, real quick. I know this music's great and all. I'm going to mute it real quick because I kind of want to share something with you. How many of you have heard of Gravity Circuit? So, Gravity Circuit 2 either just got announced or just got launched. I forget which. As a result, Gravity Circuit 1 is free. You should go pick it up. But they released the first song from Gravity Circuit 2, which is the opening stage. It sounds like this. This is me selling you on Gravity Circuit. I mean, Gravity Circuit is very Mega Man coded, so. Why did he restart? Is it faster than watching the cutscene? That's funny. Sorry. Good song. This is why I wanted to share this. I know, it's weird, isn't it? A royal flute. It's just playing the game very well. This is a glitchless run, though. That might be part of it. Oh, I mean, fair. This is the opening stage to a game called Gravity Circuit 2. Which just got announced like 2 days ago or something like that. Hey, Ross. Oh yeah, could someone type !_ guess for me really quick, please? Appreciate you. Thank you. If you haven't got guesses in, sucks to be you. Seriously, this is a 2-day stream. Give me a break. Come on. $85. 72. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that we've kind of covered all of the major platformers out there. There's still always the possibility of new platformers that just come out of nowhere and kind of crush it, right? I've got an example of that right off the top of my head. Cyber Shadow. But also Time Spinner was one of those out of nowhere things. Freedom Planet. Gravity Circuit. I just mentioned that. There's a few others. You get the point. Like, there's always the possibility of another platformer coming out of nowhere just being like, hi, I'm amazing. So you never know. But my point was really that we've covered most of the historical platformers at this point, except for Sonic, which we're making our way through. And, like... Rayman. I knew there was another one. Actually, yeah, perhaps. So, I'm going to tell you right now, this is closer to Sonic CD than you'd probably think. I'm not done with the math, but I can tell you just at a glance. Pause buffering. We haven't covered 20XDX or... and I haven't even played 30XDX past, like, the first stage in the alpha. Well, that's a good question, Mike Romano. And by Mike Romano, I mean Ben One Eye. Just crushing here. Having said that, it just occurred to me. I should do something. I should actually do something. So, do me a favor. I'm gonna do some paperworky stuff for, like, 5 minutes, okay? Just be patient with me, please. You didn't hear me just now, but I just said, God damn it, Flaring. I've actually played Mystical Ninja on the N64, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it isn't. Whatever. Dude, Pax and I actually co-opted 20XDX almost to the end. We died on the last boss, and we decided that was good enough for us. And 30XDX wasn't out yet when we were poking at that. Like, it was still in early access. By the way, really quick aside, I know none of you actually look at my website, but if you do, one of the things I do is I make it a point to have the VODs in playlists, so you can watch the entire VOD, on the front page of the website in order. And I've always found it interesting to look at the thumbnails and see the spread. So, you know, we got Homeworld 1, we got Homeworld Justice Carrick, we got Homeworld Cataclysm, Jedi Fallen Order, cool. But right above that is Sonic 1, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And the reason I'm bringing your attention to this is the brickwork approach to the first stage in all 4 of those games is so very different. Like Sonic 1, the front ground is practically non-existent, but the background has a lot of detail and effort put into it. In Sonic 2, they flesh out the foreground a little bit. They reduce the detail in the background, but they add more layers to it. Or sorry, that's CD. Sorry, that's CD. Sonic 2 makes both look better. Like, Sonic 2 looks really good overall. And then Sonic 3 looks bad. Like, we talked about this. Angel Island Zone is not great looking in terms of brickwork. There's much better looking stages in Sonic 3 than Angel Island. It's a very strange first stage, you know? I'm looking forward to seeing what Mania's green zone is, because it's always a green zone, right? Every first stage is grasslands. Alright, listen, they would never do Green Hill again. They would never... You can't do this to me. Rax! God! Okay, I don't love you anymore. That's it. That's it. I'm breaking off the wedding. I'm sorry. I know you already bought the ring. I don't care. I'm done. We're done. I got hit by an enemy. The ring's gone. I hope you have a good day off, by the way, Rax. Legit. You need it.
Excellent.
Is that Mortal Kombat or is that Unreal? That's throwing me. I think it is literally the same actor too, so I'm having trouble there. Hang on one sec. Hang on. I'm sorry. This is weirdly important to me.
Dominating. Double kill. First blood. Godlike. Headshot. Killing spree. You have lost the match.
But this is clearly the dude.
Monster kill.
I don't remember him saying some of these things.
Multi-kill. Rampage. Ultra kill. Unstoppable. 10. 9. 8.
Oh God, I'm running out of air. Ah!
5 minutes remaining. 5. 4. 3 minutes remaining. 3. 2. 1 minute remaining.
It's clearly the same dude. It is absolutely that guy. The Unreal Tournament guy. It's just, I don't recognize the lines. That's why it was throwing me so hard. Anyways. Hang on. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Hi, Evo. I do hope you're doing well today, because if you aren't, by God. That's true, Rex.
Excellent.
Oh God, it's the worst song in the game. I mean, best song. Don't kill me. God, don't kill me, please. I'm begging you. I've got a wife and children. 37 kids. I can't keep it in my pants. I'm sorry. I'm a medieval lord. Alright, or a Texio. Ouch! I'd rather be a medieval lord. Jesus. You don't need to get insulting, Valerian. God. Casino Night Zone... Casino Night? Which one was Casino Night? Yes, Casino Night was a nice playground stage, I remember. Oh my god, the neighborhood.
Outstanding.
It'll be obvious why I'm doing all this extra paperwork in just a second, I swear. If you're wondering what I'm doing, sorry, I haven't even said this out loud, have I? I am adding in the special positives and negatives for the previous games. I already put the thought in, so I just have to actually do it. I've always said Casinoopolis. Pretty sure that's just how I've heard it, so I don't think I have an investment there. Okay, so that's all that updated. Wait, one more second. So this is actually... And then this is actually... No, Evo, no, come back! Just, it's 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, maybe not 30 seconds. Literally 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Don't make me play Gravity Circuit again. I'll do it. I'll swear to God. Speaking of amazing soundtracks, 30XTX also has a banger soundtrack. I actually bought it, like, the day it came out. I don't remember what it was on. I just was like, I need that soundtrack in my life. Okay, and then... So this should be plus 16. It's not. It's plus 15. Cyber Shadow also has a fantastic soundtrack. 162. Okay, tell her to come back. Evo! Evo, come back! Come back, Evo. Okay. There's another faster kind of a thing.
Excellent.
Whoops. This does not have a ratio of 700,000%. Forgot a decimal in there. Okay, okay. Oh, is he super? He's already supersonic. Yeah. So that's a hell of a ratio. I have more positives than points exist. All right, so the reason I wanted to do it, I was updating the score for Sonic 1, CD, and 2 to update the score so we could see how close this came to Sonic CD. For the record, the updated score for Sonic CD is now 122. So keep that in mind, okay? 122. So Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Yeah. Net story score of 15. That is actually above average for a platformer. That's 1.5 pauses per hour and a ratio of 89%, which is all pretty solid stuff. Gameplay is 37. That is definitely above average by quite a margin. That is still 4.5 pauses per hour. The ratio is dragging that down a bit because there were a lot of negatives. So, 67% ratio. Now, I'm going to spoil this for you. This did not beat Yoshi's Island. For those of you not aware, Yoshi's Island was like 400 something. So, believe it or not, its direct competitor is actually Sonic CD. Like, let me actually organize these by golden number here really quick. Let's just check here. So there's Sonic CD, and there's Sonic 3. Yeah, that's its immediate competition, and Donkey Kong Country Returns actually. So, golden number is of course 100. Damn good game already. $32.34. It's actually funny how close that is to Sonic CD. It really is. This is why I wanted to double check, because they were already pretty close, and I'm like, wait, Sonic CD's score is like slightly higher. The new Sonic 2 number is 71.62. The website's all updated. The new Sonic 1 number is negative 37. Damn good game. I was talking about this with my friends. I think I mentioned this. It is weird to me how bipolar this game is. Because when it pops, it really pops. And when it doesn't, it is incredibly frustrating. Like, I'm almost weirded out by how much this game was both very enjoyable and absolutely aggravating at pretty much the exact same time. I guess that's what comes out of something like this. So yeah, I'm checking who won. Hang on. So that was, let me double check myself. 132. Looks like that's going to be Trihexia again at 135 there. So congrats, Trihexia. What is that? Killzone. Hang on, where's Killzone, Pragmata, and Hi-Fi Rush. So I will jot that down here. For Thusly. Congrats, Trihexia. Could be Rax, who knows? I am going to go ahead and chop off. This took a little longer than I wanted it to, and I desperately need a nap because I have a pretty bad headache. Next, we'll be hitting up Mania.